Tuesday, there was a testimony on the Uvalde shooting, and this was a Colonel, I think, Steve McGraw, the Texas Director of Public Safety. And there's a story of a man in Uvalde, when people say, oh, good guy with a gun. Yeah. A man whose wife was a teacher was dying. He tried to get in and save her, and he was actually detained and disarmed by the police who were busy not doing their job. Here's the clip.
We got an officer, Officer Weiss, whose wife called him and said she was been shot and she's dying. So certainly those things. And what happened to him was he tried to move forward into the hallway. He was detained, and they took his gun away from him and escorted him off the scene.
Yeah.
Not a just random good guy, an officer. Was detained trying to go and save his wife. Can you imagine getting a phone call?
And they took his weapons.
Yeah. Can you imagine getting a phone call from your spouse or from somebody that you love dearly if you don't have a spouse? Hey, I've been shot and I'm dying. I know you're probably 50 feet away in the hallway.
This is what turns law-abiding citizen. No law-abiding citizen. Well, guess what? And I'm just going to, if that man, let's just be honest here, because people will try and say I'm an extremist with this comment. And I want everyone in this room right now to answer honestly, because I'm going to step out on a limb. If you're that man and your wife is calling you or your child is calling you saying, I am dying, and you are on the other side of that door and you have a gun and someone is trying to detain you, would you hesitate to shoot that person out of the way? Would anyone here hesitate?
I'd wing them, get them out of the way.
No.
Whatever I have to do to get in there.
Yeah, because they just turned you into a criminal. They just turned you into a criminal by trying to save your wife's life, or at least be able to speak some last words to her. I'm not saying you should go around shooting cops at all. What I'm saying is that guy, who was an officer, was now forced to decide between last words with his wife, the love of his life, or become a criminal. You shouldn't have to make that choice. That's why we have the Second Amendment. His wife was one of the fourth grade teachers. She was one of the two teachers who was killed. So this brings us to you do not have a corner on outrage left. Right? And this is a claim that they'll often make after these shootings. Well, you just hear these stupid people, the NRA, the idea of a good guy with a gun stops a bad guy with a gun. That's just a fantasy, a myth. You're not trained. Okay, well, let's go through a few examples in the last 3 days. But first, today in the New York Times, between 2000 and 2021, mass shootings were stopped 22 times by a bystander shooting the attacker. 22 times, and that's in a place, we're talking about a lot of places like New York where people don't own guns. That's where a lot of these mass shootings take place. And that number would be higher if more people were carrying firearms. Not to mention the 2 to 3 million defensive uses of firearms each year compared to tens of thousands of homicides, mostly gang-related. And to hear right now to shut this down forever, I just had, and Kevin here, a researcher, did some really fantastic work because we've gone through how many examples there are of good guys with a gun. Yeah. But these are just a few examples here within the last week or so. Defensive uses, particularly women. Here's yesterday, a woman in Natchitoches, if I'm pronouncing this correctly, Natchitoches, Louisiana, shot a man invading her bedroom. My guess is he wasn't selling Girl Scout cookies.
Not a serious partner.
Yesterday, no. You son of a bitch.
Levity, sorry.
Former lover, part-time lover.
Yesterday, Clearwater, Florida. Woman shot a man entering her bedroom. Again, I'm noticing a trend here. Hey, what about rape culture? Stop rape culture. Well, here's a good way. And it's not through believe all women. That lends itself to stupid laws like the boyfriend loophole law. How about the allow all, how about instead of hashtag believe all women, hashtag allow all women to defend themselves? How about that?
Novel idea.
June 19th, Phoenix, Arizona. A woman was being assaulted by her boyfriend. Shot him. Or shot at him. I don't know if she hit him.
Yeah.
Women aren't always the best at aiming. That's okay. Baby steps. So that's just from the last...
Men, have you seen the bathroom here? Come on, guys.
That's just from the last couple of days.
Yeah.
And this happens millions of times per year. And you just saw a clear example with a man who, I don't know that he would have saved his wife. Not saying it would have. Doesn't matter. It could not be less relevant.
Deserved the chance.
Well, yeah, it's 0% though if you do nothing.
Yeah.
Or are stopped. So.
Well, and I'm not mistaken, one of these teachers that died on the way to the hospital.
I don't know
So-
for sure, but yeah,
Yeah,
I, think so.
I read that in some of the reports, and so if that is in fact true, and I don't know that it was this one, it may have been one of the only other teacher that was killed. But if that's true, then time mattered.
Right.
Even if he couldn't do anything to prevent her being shot, obviously she had been shot at that point. He could have gotten pressure on a wound. He could have dragged her out and gotten her to a medic. He could have given her a fighting chance, said last words. All of these, like, you could not keep me back. Like, there's nothing that I wouldn't do to get to my wife who's been shot and called. I can't imagine getting that call.
Yeah.
There would just be nothing you could do.
And you know what? Whatever it is that he could have done, coulda, woulda, shoulda, would have been more than what the cops did, which was
Yeah.
nothing. Nothing. Not something. I know what some of you are thinking.
Right.
Something? No.
Well, they stood in the hallway
Yeah.
They did, looking
with an aggressive posture.
not
even
really that aggressive.
Not even that. They were standing like
they were-
Bambi when learning how to walk.
They were behind a brick wall, like kind of peering out occasionally to an empty hallway.
Right.
It was really exciting.
Yeah. So is it lunch yet?
Yeah. I wonder if the bell will ring and he'll go out of the classroom.
Listening to gunfire.
Yep.
Yeah. That you clearly wasn't an automatic weapon, meaning they could have gone down there and at least one of them could have got him.
Yeah. Oh, but it would be dangerous for officers. Then you shouldn't be an officer.
Draw his fire. I mean, what the hell?
So, all right, let's get to the Uvalde. I say Uvalde because I say it the right Hispanic way. Uvalde. I don't care.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.